What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to
material. What is happening to car loans and the market in Russia? Inflation in Russia in 2020, according to Rosstat, amounted to 4.91%, and the government's inflation forecast for 2021 is even more optimistic, 3.7%. However, in reality, the rate of price growth, according to many analysts and experts, is even more noticeably outpacing income growth. The figures of real inflation are voiced quite differently, up to 20%, but most agree that the discrepancy between the official and real estimates is 2 to 3 times. That is, the actual inflation in 2020 amounted to 10 to 15%. Of course, this data cannot be taken as statistically correct, since inflation varies greatly depending on the region, type of activity, sources of income and many other factors, including the food basket. Simply put, this indicator is different in every family. If we look at the statistics of new car sales, we can draw another conclusion. The decrease in income affects the market dynamics, not as tangibly as it could, taking into account the indicator of real inflation. What is the reason? The reason is simple. The market is helped by the growing share of credit cards. According to Amidst, it has been growing steadily since 2015, i.e. since the beginning of currency fluctuations, and by 2020 it reached 45%, which coincides with the indicators of 2008 and 2013, when new car sales in Russia were at their peak. Now, the increase in the volume of loan cars is not least facilitated by support measures, and not only from the state. The first pillar on which sales are based is government programs, under which you can get a discount on a new car. And the second is the credit offers with favorable credit rates, which are sometimes 2 to 3 times lower than the notorious real inflation, and stimulate sales not only banks, but car manufacturers themselves, which offer their own promotions and favorable credit terms. Let's take a look at how to take a loan correctly and not to make a mistake, and how to buy a car on credit with maximum benefit for yourself. How to take a loan and not to make a mistake. The first look at the whole range of offers is discouraging. If you look at all the figures quoted by banks, the range of rates on car loans is huge, from 6 to 8 to 20 to 22%. The final rates vary greatly depending on the amount of the loan, its term, purchase of additional services like roadside assistance cards and other options. However, there are conditions common to all banks, which should definitely be taken into account when planning a loan. Let's list them. Usually, the first question is the loan approval period and the list of required documents. It is almost always possible to apply for an express loan right at the car dealership, which will be considered in a couple of hours at most. In this case, of the documents will often require only a passport and a second document, for example, a driver's license. Convenience of registration of the loan for 2 hours on 2 documents is always more than compensated by the conditions and in particular, the interest rate. Of course, the bank checks the credit history of the borrower, but for the lack of a certificate of income and guarantors for additional risks will pay the buyer of the machine. It should be taken into account and understand that the rate on an express loan will be at least a couple or 3 percentage points higher than on a classic loan with income verification and longer processing. The second key factor affecting the interest rate is the size of the down payment for the car and the term of the loan. Everyone is familiar with advertising banners with the offer to buy a new car for only 6,500 rubles a month or so. The interest rate in such a special offer is really low, and the promises are built on the above 2 pillars. The term of the loan, in this case, is usually 12 months, and the down payment on the car, 80% and above. The offer is quite favorable, and the only nuance is that these conditions are not available to everyone, and when reducing the down payment and increasing the term of the loan, the interest rate will rise. Therefore, when buying a new car, it is worth choosing the minimum possible loan term and the most affordable down payment. The main thing here is to be realistic and do not overestimate your capabilities. It is better to overpay a little in the long run, but get a feasible monthly payment, than to take a risk and take on the maximum credit load for a short period of time. By the way, in the favorable offer described above, there may also be a third condition, the residual payment to buy back the car. It can be considered as the third condition for registration. Let's go to it. A residual payment is both a marketing tool and a useful option for the buyer. A loan with a residual payment will suit you if you want to reduce your monthly payments and are ready to pay a large sum of money at the end of the loan term, or if you want to give the car to the dealer and exchange it for a new loan car. Also, if you plan to change your car every 2 to 3 years, a residual payment can be quite a favorable tool. Usually the terms of such a loan assume an additional option, selling the car to the dealer and repaying the loan at the expense of this amount. That is, the loan in such conditions becomes very similar to leasing. In fact, the buyer pays for a long-term lease of the car, while receiving a low interest on the loan and a minimum monthly payment. And at the end of the loan term, the buyer surrenders the car to the dealer and buys the next new car. The next condition of a car loan, which every buyer faces, is insurance of a new car under the whole insurance program. Since the bank usually takes the car as collateral for the term of loan repayment, it is interested in the car being insured at least against loss or destruction. So hull insurance becomes an almost unavoidable additional cost of the purchase. Some banks have options for a loan without compulsory hull insurance, but the interest rate in this case significantly increases, usually by at least 1%. Such a concession can almost completely offset the benefit of the buyer, who in addition refused insurance. So before agreeing to such terms, it is worth calculating the real benefit, the cost of hull insurance policy with a deductible or insurance only against theft and loss may not be much higher than the overpayment of interest when refusing it. The list of conditions above is by no means complete. Banks may offer other ways to reduce the interest rate. For example, an additional way to save on interest may be to take out life and health insurance for the borrower, as well as insurance against loss of income or employment. More favorable conditions can be obtained by regular salary clients of the bank and other categories of borrowers. In general, when choosing a bank, it is better to calculate several options and choose the most favorable and convenient for yourself conditions. At the same time, it will be possible to choose where to take out car insurance policies, life insurance, and other additional services if necessary. What do automakers offer? Let's consider the situation on a concrete example with Toyota. Here there are special offers that are valid not from third-party banks, but from its own JSC Toyota Bank, licensed by the Bank of Russia. JSC Toyota Bank offers attractive lending terms for customers. This is most clearly reflected in the interest rate. Thus, JSC Toyota Bank until the end of March offers a special program Toyota RAV4 at 4%*, and this is a great opportunity to buy an updated RAV4. The terms of the program are simple and transparent. Loan term of 12 months, down payment from 10% and hull insurance policy in any company accredited by the bank. If you need a car now, but have other expenses, then a comfortable payment on the loan is important in the first place. In this case, JSC Toyota Bank has a program Comfort Plus, which involves reducing the monthly payment due to the presence of a residual payment, which is paid at the end of the loan term. The terms of the program are flexible. The down payment here can be from 20% of the value of the car, and the residual payment from 20 to 60%. By the time the residual payment is made, the client can repay the loan himself or allow the dealer to buy back the car at a guaranteed redemption value, fixed in the contract with the dealer. The amount received from the sale will be used to repay the client's debt to the bank, and the difference can be used for the down payment for a new car, if the owner wants to exchange it for a new Toyota model. This program applies to new Toyota RAV4 cars. For example, with a down payment of 50% of the cost of the car, based on the maximum possible cost of 1,970,000 rubles, and a loan term of 36 months, the monthly payment will be 9,900 rubles. Updated Toyota Camry until the end of June you can buy a special program Camry at 5.9%***. Here at the initial payment of 20%, loan term from 12 to 24 months and hull insurance policy in any company accredited by the bank. The interest rate will be 5.9%. Conditions for Land Cruiser Prado are also attractive for the class. With a down payment of 20% and a loan term of 12 months, you can buy an SUV at a rate of 7% per annum****. Here we can also mention a special offer for trade-in from an official dealer, the opportunity to exchange your car against the cost of a new Toyota car and get additional benefits. For RAV4 and Camry, the discount for the trade-in will be up to 100,000 rubles, and for Prado, up to 200,000 rubles. Toyota's special offers do not apply to the entire model range, but to the models selected by the manufacturer. The choice of models for special offers at Toyota is dictated by several conditions. First of all, of course, it is popularity. Thus, RAV4 is consistently in the top 10 best-selling cars in Russia. Last year the model finished in 8th place with the result of 36.5 thousand cars and a 19% increase over last year. Prado, in its turn, stably remains among the class leaders, and last year it sold 11,000 cars. And the popularity of Camry does not need to be reminded. Last year the model finished on the 14th place in the list of the best-selling cars in Russia with the result of 27,000 copies. Underscore 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 asterisk. The interest rate is specified under the loan program RAV4 under 4. Terms of the loan program RAV4 under 4. Initial payment, IP, from 10% of the value of the car, AOM. Loan term, LT, 12 months, the rate of 4% per annum. The currency of the loan, Russian rubles. The minimum loan amount of 300,000 rubles. Repayment in equal monthly installments. Mandatory conditions. Insurance of the purchased car under the whole program in any insurance company accredited by the bank, and pledge. The purchased car in accordance with the general terms and conditions of consumer lending JSC Toyota Bank. Lending is carried out by JSC Toyota Bank. License of the Bank of Russia number 3470. More information on the website www.toyotabank.ru or by tel 8,800,200-0840. The credit program applies to new Toyota RAV4 cars from 1.04 2021 to 30.04 2021. The term of validity of a positive decision on the loan is 1 month. The loan can be issued no later than 30.04 2021. The amount of monthly payment under the loan agreement is specified in accordance with the terms of the loan program Comfort Plus RAV4. For the purchase of a Toyota model RAV4 car, based on the maximum possible cost, hereinafter, MPC, in the amount of 1,970,000 rubles, subject to making a down payment, hereinafter, down payment, in the amount of 985,000 rubles, residual payment, hereinafter, RP, in the amount of 985,000 rubles, loan amount of 985,000 rubles, loan term of 36 months, interest rate of 12% per annum. The amount of the monthly payment is indicated with rounding upwards. The MCI is not the selling price of the car. The MCI is given for calculation purposes. The sale price of the car should be checked with an authorized Toyota dealer from among those listed on the website www.toyota.ru. Hereinafter, dealer, granting a loan under the credit program Comfort Plus RAV4 is carried out under the following conditions. The loan amount of 20% or more of the value of the car, hereinafter, AOM. Loan term, 36 months, interest rate of 12% per annum. The residual payment may be from 20 to 60% of the value of the car. The currency of the loan is Russian rubles. The minimum loan amount is 20% of the value of the car, but not less than 300,000 rubles. Mandatory conditions. Insurance of the purchased car under the whole program in any insurance company accredited by the bank, and pledge. The purchased car in accordance with the general terms and conditions of consumer lending JSC Toyota Bank. The loan is provided by JSC Toyota Bank. License of the Bank of Russia No. 3. This offer is for information purposes only and is not an offer, including public offer, Articles 435, 437 of the Civil Code of the Russian Federation. Detailed conditions of crediting, requirements to insurance conditions and requirements to borrowers specify on a site www.toyotabank.ru or by phone 8,800,200-0840. Detailed conditions of the offer on sale of the car specify at the dealer on the requisite specified on a site www.toyotabank.ru. www.toyota.ru. Buyback guarantee, a service provided by the dealer to the client who has entered into an agreement with the dealer to buy back the car. In the agreement concluded between the client and the dealer, the requirements to the car, including requirements to mileage, service, maintenance of the car and other conditions of car buyback are established. Guarantee of repurchase of the vehicle at the end of the loan term is provided subject to the client's compliance with the terms and conditions of the repurchase agreement. The client can familiarize himself with the terms of repurchase at the dealer. Interest rate is specified under the loan program Camry at 5.9%. The terms of the loan program Camry at 5.9%. Down payment from 20% of the value of the car, ARM. Loan term, LT, from 12 to 24 months, in increments of 1 month. The rate of 5.9% per annum. The currency of the loan, rubles of the Russian Federation. The minimum loan amount of 300,000 rubles. Repayment in equal monthly installments. Mandatory conditions. Insurance of the purchased car under the whole program in any insurance company accredited by the bank, and pledge. The purchased car in accordance with the general terms and conditions of consumer lending JSC Toyota Bank. Lending is carried out by JSC Toyota Bank, license of the Bank of Russia number 3470. For more information on the site www.toyota Bank. RU or by tel 8,800,200-0840. The credit program applies to new Toyota Camry cars from 1.04 2021 to 30.06 2021. The term of validity of a positive decision on the loan is 3 months. The loan can be issued no later than 30.06 2021. The interest rate is specified under the loan program Land Cruiser Prado at 7%. The terms of the loan program Land Cruiser Prado at 7%. Down payment from 20% of the value of the car, ARM. Loan term, LT, 12 months. The rate of 7% per annum. The currency of the loan, rubles of the Russian Federation. The minimum loan amount of 300,000 rubles. Repayment in equal monthly installments. Mandatory conditions. Insurance of the purchased car under the whole program in any insurance company accredited by the bank, and pledge. The purchased car in accordance with the general terms and conditions of consumer lending JSC Toyota Bank. Lending is carried out by JSC Toyota Bank, license of the Bank of Russia number 3470. For more information on the site www.toyota Bank. RU or by tel 8,800,200-0840. The credit program applies to new Toyota Land Cruiser Prado cars from 1.04 2021 to 30.04 2021. Term of validity of a positive decision on the loan is 1 month. The loan can be issued no later than 30.04 2021. In conclusion, the disparity between the real inflation rate of 12% in Russia and the relatively low interest rates on car loans, ranging from 4 to 7%, raises important questions about the economic landscape. This situation highlights the complexities of monetary policy, market dynamics, and the influence of government interventions. As consumers navigate these financial waters, understanding the underlying factors at play becomes crucial. Ultimately, this phenomenon serves as a reminder of the intricate relationship between inflation and lending practices, prompting us to consider how these elements will evolve in the future. Thank you for watching, and stay informed.